Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, The Ritual Flow. For today's reading, we are doing a money reading for the sign of Taurus. So if you are a Taurus Sun, Moon, Rising, or Midheaven, there may be some messages here for you. This is a general reading though, so take what resonates, leave what does not. Not everything will resonate with everyone, and this is timeless as well. So whenever you're seeing it is the right time for you to receive it. All right, let's see what's going on in the energy. We got this picture card with the two ladies talking in the garden. Seven of Swords, Queen of Cups, Ace of Cups. Knight of Wands. The Chariot. Eight of Wands. Eight of Pentacles. The Hanged Man. Can we get one more, please? The Lovers. And at the bottom of the deck, we've got the Moon and the Page of Swords. Okay, Taurus. So you're wanting to start something new. You may have sort of like confided your idea in someone close to you that you trust, in like a friend, a partner, a mentor in some way. It's like you're trying to come up with a plan to make something happen. And this is something that it's like you want to work on something that brings you a lot of emotional fulfillment, that really taps into your passion, that makes you feel inspired, that makes you like want to get up and do this work every day. Something that really lights you up, that you feel deeply about, that feels very meaningful to you. And, you know, you've sort of been getting advice, coming up with this plan, like making a strategy for how to incorporate a greater sense of like meaning and passion into your work. And you're ready to take action on it. Maybe you are already taking action on it, and yeah, you're working really hard to ground this into your reality. There's this element, though, of needing to be in flow, needing to work with the divine instead of trying to force things. I think you have some illusions about how hard you need to work to make this happen. It's like this this common narrative of like having to strive really hard, like pull yourself up by your bootstraps type of energy of like if you didn't fight tooth and nail for something, then like you can't make it happen. And I think you're sort of clinging onto that mentality because you have some fear, some doubt about being able to make this work, about being able to make a career out of something that you love. And so you buy into this narrative that you have to work incredibly hard, like exhausting yourself, like suffering in a way to achieve your goal. But there's an element here of you needing to learn to understand that everything you do that's in alignment is not just something that you do alone. We're never alone. You are always co-creating with the rest of the universe and the energies that are present within it. You don't have to do all of the work by yourself. And of course, that's not to say that, you know, everything's just going to happen without you putting in effort. Yes, effort is still required on your part, but it's not with the degree and the forcefulness that you seem to have been putting into it. Like it's like you're doing more than your share of the work on this project. And it's not giving space for the divine to support you, to aid you. There is a need for you to sort of surrender to the natural flow that occurs when you put in the effort, when your heart, when your intentions are in the right place. And when you sort of let go and see what happens, like there's this energy of like nitpicking, like worrying about like what else can you do, what more can you do, what your next move is, it's like this anxious energy of like doing to try to accomplish. And it's creating this feeling of burnout. And there's this point that you will come to where you recognize that you've done enough for the moment, and to just like take a pause and see what happens, to like see what the effort that you've put in, like the results that it has, before you put in still yet more effort. Like seeing how the universe responds to the effort you put in, the intention that you place. And like it's this energy of making it a conversation between you and like the greater collective spirit. Like you're set to move towards something that feels very aligned to you, very like you're in the right place doing the right work, but you're not going to feel that land. You're not going to feel that reflected back to you until you allow this to be like a back and forth, like reciprocal dynamic between like you and the rest of creation. Yeah. You may be receiving some sort of particular communication like outside of this reading. Obviously, I'm telling you in this reading that, you know, this is like a reminder that you need to sort of take a step back, let go, see how things play out before like moving. Yeah, you may receive some other kind of confirmation, communication. Some of you, it may be in a dream. For some of you, it's going to be something someone says to you in passing. It just sort of like hits and lands in a certain way where you like recognize and embody the need to like share in this effort with the overall energy. Okay, let's see if there's something that we need to clarify here. What are you working on? Okay. We got the King of Pentacles, Three of Cups, Nine of Wands in reverse, and the Chariot was in reverse. So yeah, you're working on, it's like you want to, there's several things that you're wanting to achieve and establish in the path that you're taking to find greater meaning, greater purpose, more inspiration in your work. You want to feel solid, stable, grounded. You want to be compensated in a way that the wealth you receive reflects the wealth that you feel like you're giving back to whomever is like receiving the work that you do. You're also wanting to eliminate this feeling of like exhaustion, suffering. I think I mentioned that before. That's reiterated here in the work that you do, like feeling excited to contribute rather than feeling exhausted, burnt out, taken advantage of. And you're wanting to create community between people in this work. This could be something like a project you wanting to create in your local community. This could be like an online community. But like bringing people together in like a common, like mutual, friendly, collaborative way is is important to what you're doing. And another thing you're doing is also learning not to force things, that while you can have some control, you control yourself, your own actions. You don't control the rest of the universal energy, and that the action that you take has to be in harmony and respectful of all of the other energy that exists. And when you work with the flow of that energy, it has a big impact. It makes a big difference. It allows things to come to fruition. When you're like not going against the grain, when you're not like trying to force something to happen like against all odds. It's like working with the odds to create something beautiful for yourself and for everyone that it touches. Is there anything else that you would like to add about this energy of like forcing, trying to make things happen, fighting the flow? Yeah, there's this energy of needing to rest, reflect, meditate, like tap into your inner wisdom, like connect with the universal flow within inside yourself. That's going to give you that new beginning, like a beginner's mindset to how you can approach creation. It's like this like trying to force the work, force the effort, is like giving an energy of sort of like imprisonment, like toiling away. And this is supposed to feel much more free than that, because that's that energy you want to get away from. Like that's the whole reason you're pursuing this avenue in your work, where you're looking for something, like planning for something more, something better, is to get away from that like feeling of drudgery, to bring like the meaning, like the spark back to your action. And so that's going to require you to allow yourself to have the freedom to just sort of like take the risk. Like, what happens if I don't like do this task, if I just like let things sit and see how they go? And you're going to have like a sort of revelation about that. It's going to like fill you. It's like the opposite of a lack mentality. It's like an abundance mentality. It's like recognizing, like feeling in your body that everything's going to be okay if you take a break. Because like the energy you're moving away from is like feeling like, oh, if I'm not doing something, then I'm like failing. I'm like letting things fall behind, where you're learning that there's a benefit to the not doing as well, to like seeing how things move on their own, how things respond to the work you've already done before doing more work. Like sitting on your throne and looking, like observing your harvest, marveling in it, being grateful for it, feeling the love reflected back to you externally from what you put into it from your internal source. Okay, let's see what's in the oracle. That's too many. Let's try again. I don't know why the cards in this deck like to stick together so much. It's really annoying. Okay, let's see what this is that flew across the floor. Okay. Okay, so we've got a creative endeavor, courage, and fragmented energy coming out. So with all this water energy, like this does feel like a creative endeavor for you. Like it requires you to hone your creative power, to like create connection for yourself, create connection for other people. It's like I think I mentioned this previously. It's like this lesson in learning how to use your creative power. It takes a lot of courage to stop that cycle of like doing, trying to, like, it takes a lot of courage to surrender. It takes a lot of courage to surrender to the flow of things. Your energy has been fragmented essentially from this like constant work, constant pushing to achieve a goal. And when you give into this practice of surrender, of reflecting, of like going within and taking a pause, that calls your energy back to you, and you have more of it to like reuse, like recycle. Because when you're like constantly like doing, trying to like make things work, that's like scattering your energy around all over the place. And it needs to come like from that central point, like from your 0 point inside, to be effortless, to be in flow with the rest of the energy. And that's something you're learning in this process, to like stop fragmenting your own energy in like out of desperation to make something work. And we also had the loving man and kindred partnership come out. You know, we have the lovers here. For some of you, you could be like forming a partnership along the way of this work that you're doing, or this work that you're doing for like coming to a better place with your career. Like the mental aspect of that, the change in perspective that it's giving you is also going to have like a big impact on the type of partnership and love commitments that come your way, like after you are like have moved through this process and have like learned this lesson about your power and using your energy wisely. And for some of you, you could be calling in a partner to do business with, like a partner that helps you stay in the flow, that sort of helps you keep your ego, your desire to do in check. For others of you, like, these are like the same person. It's like when you get your energy into this sort of frequency where this meaningful work starts to like take off, you start to see the results of like financial stability with it, you're also going to like attract a person, a partner who helps you grow that further. And I'm also getting like helps you grow further. Like, it's, for some of you, it's just romantic partner. For some of you, it's just a business partner. For others of you, it's like, it's someone who does both for you in some way. That can look a lot of different ways. So let's see, what final messages do you have for Taurus? Oh, goodness. Okay. Okay, we have accelerated motion, material and spiritual prosperity. Yeah, I mean, that's a huge reiteration of like what I'm seeing here with this Eight of Wands. Like, you trying to do and scattering your energy everywhere is sort of like holding back this vision that you have of how you want work to feel and look for you. That's sort of been actually holding it back from being what you want it to be. When you surrender and let things like come together on their own, like let the work that you've done actually like manifest into something, letting your work be more intentional, and there being an element of like call and response with that you're going to see like this movement, like things come together much more quickly, like seeing like financial results from the work that you're doing, seeing like these spiritual results of like your elevated frequency and the things that calls in, like draws in towards you. Let me get one more, please. Spiritual strength. There's a lot of green energy here. I don't know. There's been, for this like section of readings this week, there's been a lot of like heart energy coming through. A lot of like connections coming out, like between the relationship of like love and money, like, you know, for individuals, but you know, this is a collective sort of phenomenon. Like our relationship to love and our relationship to money is very intertwined in many ways. And that's something that it feels like all this energy that's been coming out, that feels like a very strong lesson that's being collectively explored by many different energies, signs at this time. And that seems to include you, Taurus. Like, you recognize the need to love the work that you do. And you're learning that that's a source of your power. Like, loving what you do is a source of power and prosperity, that when you step into that fully, you stop doubting, stop trying to like force it, and like just let the love take over and sort of like inform the flow of money and the things that bring it. You find that there's that deep connection there, that's really how this works, that it's through the expression of love in some way, shape, or form that money finds its way to you. It's like that money is a physical representation of love in many ways. I'm not saying it's not the only one, but it's one that we have that's quite pervasive and often ends up becoming just like this objective, like physical thing that people obsess over and don't really understand why. And the reason why is because of the representation of love that underlies it, that gets lost within and on many people. But that's something that we're collectively learning and healing, and that's part of what this process is for you. Learning to let go, let love guide the work that you're doing, and to have it reflected back to you in the response that you receive when you stop and let that response be felt. Okay, so if this reading resonated with you, please give it a like, comment down below, share with someone, subscribe to the channel if you have not already done so, and I will see you next week. Bye, Taurus.